picture this. It is 3 million years ago. You are 5 feet tall. You weigh maybe 100 pounds. You have no claws, no fangs, no armor, no weapon, and it is getting dark. You cannot see in the dark, but something else can. Something that has been watching you since before the sun went down. Something that has already decided. You are dinner. You just haven't heard it yet. That was every single night. For your earliest ancestors. Not occasionally. Not sometimes. Every single night. And the thing in the dark had a name. The lion. Not the lion you see in documentaries. Not the lion behind glass at a zoo, blinking slowly in the afternoon sun. A different lion. Hungrier. Bolder. Less afraid of anything. A lion that had learned something that most lions today have forgotten. That humans are easy, slow, soft, nearly blind after dark, completely predictable in their movements, sleeping in the same spots, traveling the same paths, making the same sounds. Your ancestors were not just prey, they were the perfect prey, and some lions figured that out, and never forgot it. Here is where it gets horrifying. Savo, Kenya, 2 lions, just 2, began hunting the workers building a railway through East Africa. They did not just attack occasionally, they developed a system. They hunted in shifts. One would distract while the other attacked. They lost all fear of fire. They pulled men out of tents in the middle of the night, while other men lay listening, too terrified to move. Over 9 months, those 2 lions killed over 100 people. They stopped an entire railway, stopped construction completely. Workers refused to continue. Engineers had no answer. The most powerful colonial empire on Earth was brought to its knees by 2 cats. Now take that and go back 3 million years. When your ancestor had nothing, not even a tent, just open ground, and darkness, and the sound of grass moving, in a direction that wasn't wind. So how are you here right now? How did the most hunted creature on the African savannah become the species that rules the planet? Starts with a moment, one single moment, that changed everything. Someone picked up a stick and set it on fire. Sounds too simple, until you understand what fire actually meant. Lions fear fire the way you fear nothing. Instinctively, completely, immediately, not because they learned to, because every single nerve in their body screams run the moment flames appear. Your ancestors noticed this, filed it away, and used it every single night after that. Fire at the cave entrance. Fire around the sleeping group. A burning branch thrust into the face of something charging through the dark. For the first time in 3 million years, the lion stopped. Not because your ancestor was stronger, not because they were faster, because they had something the lion had never encountered before. A brain that could take the world and bend it into a weapon. But here is where the story gets really interesting, because fire was defense. What came next was offense. Your ancestors stopped running and started hunting back. Not alone, never alone, because 1 human against a lion is a funeral. But 10 humans, communicating, coordinating, executing a plan, is something completely different. Think about what that actually means. Lions hunt together too, but a lion cannot turn to another lion and say, "You go left, I go right," make noise from the north and drive it toward the cliff. Humans could, and did. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, they used terrain like a weapon. They used noise as a trap. They used each other as a machine, more sophisticated than anything the natural world had ever produced. And slowly, painfully, over thousands of years, the lion stopped seeing humans as prey and started seeing them as something else. Something it wasn't sure about. Something unpredictable. Something dangerous. Then came the spear, and everything the lion thought it knew became wrong overnight, because a spear does one thing that changes the entire equation. It closes the distance between human and lion, while keeping the human out of reach. You can strike without being struck. You can kill without being killed. For the first time in 3 million years, the human body could reach further than the lion's claws. The first time a group of early humans stood their ground against a charging lion, did not run, drove spears into it instead. That lion never forgot, and neither did the ones watching. But here is the part that will genuinely blow your mind. It was not enough to survive the lion. Your ancestors became obsessed with it. They wore its skin, carried its bones, painted it on cave walls in firelight, built it into their rituals, their ceremonies, their understanding of power itself. The oldest sculpture ever found, made by human hands, 40,000 years ago, discovered in a cave in Germany, is a human body, with a lion head, not a human running from a lion, not a human killing a lion, a human becoming one. The first thing our species ever chose to create, out of all the things in the entire world they could have made, was themselves fused with the animal that had hunted them for millions of years. That is not just art. That is something buried so deep in the human psyche that it came out through their hands, before they even had words for it, and the obsession never stopped. Look at every great civilization that ever existed. Egypt, Rome, Persia, Babylon, Britain, every throne, every crown, every flag, every symbol of ultimate power, across almost every culture, in the history of the world. The lion, not the wolf, not the bear, not the eagle, the lion, specifically, always, everywhere, the one animal that spent millions of years trying to end the human species, is the animal that every king and emperor and ruler in human history chose to put on their throne, because somewhere deep in the human brain, deeper than language, deeper than memory, there is a 3 million-year-old file, and it says, if you can survive that, you can survive anything. The next time you see a lion, really look at it. That animal is the reason your ancestors didn't sleep lying down, the reason they learned to make fire, the reason they learned to plan, the reason they learned to work together, the reason the human brain became the most dangerous thing on the planet. The lion tried to end us. Instead, it built us. Every ancestor you have survived that animal long enough to have children, which means that animal has been failing to kill your family for 3 million years. And you, sitting here right now, are the proof.